This is Western Tigrai in northern Ethiopia, one of the most significant areas in the country. It has been on the front line of a brutal war for 2 years. But before we talk about why this area is key to this conflict, let's recap on what has been happening so far. Ethiopian forces have been at war with Tigrayan forces since November 2020. Prime Minister Abiy ordered a military offensive against Tigray regional forces after accusing them of an attack on its northern command based in the region. Thousands of civilians have been killed and millions of people have fled their homes. Both TPLF and Ethiopian government forces have been accused of gross human rights violations, which both deny. In early 2022, both sides agreed on a truce. Finally, there was some hope for peace. But it all came crashing down in August 2022. This brings us to where we started, Western Tigray. So why is Western Tigray so significant in this crisis? There are 3 ways to look at it. Let's start with the history of the region. The Amhara region claims the territory and does not recognize it as Western Tigray. Both regions claim ownership based on their own historical evidence. In fact, Amharas don't call it Western Tigray, but Walqite. Let's go back in time. It is 1991. The military government has fallen. EPRDF, a coalition dominated by Tigray People's Liberation Front, has restructured Ethiopia's regions into federalism based on ethnicity and language. The new borders place Walqite and other districts under Western Tigray. Since then, the identity question of the Amhara people of Walqite has remained a thorny issue. The second reason why Western Tigray is important is its geopolitical significance. It connects Ethiopia, Sudan, and Eritrea. Eritrea and the Amhara region of Ethiopia, who are allies in this war, could only have direct land contact through this disputed territory. But Tigray wants to regain control of the area, to access the outside world through Sudan. And this is the only way out to break a siege imposed since June 2021. This is when the federal government withdrew from Mekelle. Finally, Western Tigray has an economic importance. This area is one of the largest agricultural lands in Tigray due to its natural resources and fertility. Sesame is Ethiopia's second largest export after coffee, and it is grown in this region. In 2020, 3.6 million quintals of sesame were cultivated, mainly in the western zone of Tigray. This sector employed more than 300,000 farmers. It benefits the 2 regions in terms of employment. The issue of Western Tigray is one of the stumbling blocks for the peaceful settlement of this conflict. Tigray authorities demand for a return to its constitutional administration. They also want to resettle over 1 million Tigrayans who were forcibly displaced. Since the war broke out, there have been several reports of ethnically motivated cleansing and forced displacement from Western Tigray. Will we see an end to this conflict? Only time will tell.